kings, queens, and in-betweens. I'm Valerie, and welcome to my channel, The Bookish Valkyrie. So today we are starting a vlog, and as you can see, I'm not home again. This time I am visiting my friend Tony. He is settling into his new home, and I am here to help him with some body doubling. And this is also the week that we are doing the economic blackout for Amazon. I'm not going to be reading using my Audible app or my Kindle app. So I've actually started reading Go Luck Yourself by Sarah Rash, or Raish, I really don't know how to say her name. But I started reading this in the physical because of the economic blackout, and because it's like the appropriate time of year to be reading this, because this is about the Prince of Christmas falling in love with the Prince of St. Patrick's Day. And this is a sequel to The Nightmare Before Christmas. We are following the brother of the main character from the last book. And so far, I'm having a great time. We have already had a little bit of a prank war started. I don't know how far it's going to go. I don't know if it's going to start out as rivals and go to lovers, or if we're going to go from rivals to enemies to lovers. We'll see. I haven't got a clue what to expect from this book, but I'm already having a good time. I have also started reading Virginia Fieto's Victorian Psycho. It is a really short book. I think it's just novella length. The audio book is about 4 hours long, like a little bit over 4 hours, I think. I am about an hour and 2 minutes in, so we'll see where it goes, but it's already definitely got that this narrator is probably not a good person. She's definitely got some interesting thoughts that she's been having, and some interesting like foreshadowing for what's going to come. Right off the bat in the first page, it basically says everybody is going to be dead in 3 months. I don't know if that is the omniscient narrator saying that that's going to happen, so it's definitely going to happen, or if that is a thought that she was having. The way it's written is a little bit vague, so there's that. But like, maybe it might be vague on purpose to cause tension of, is that actually going to be what happens, or is that just what she is planning? So I don't know. We'll see. But that's where we are starting at for the week. And this is my friend Tony, whose house that I am staying at.
Hello. I have kidnapped her this week, and since the dog and cat isn't here to annoy her and bother her during this, I do.
And he's very good at it, so we'll see what kind of footage we end up with. See you in the next clip. Hello, it is Wednesday night, and it is pumpkin time, but I thought I would do a quick check-in before I got ready for bed. I got a couple more chapters into Go Luck Yourself. It's giving very red, white, and royal blue vibes. I'm only like 3 chapters in, starting chapter 4 right now, and they definitely do not like each other at this point. There's some attraction, but it's very like unwilling attraction. Chris is like really annoyed with himself for how attracted he is to Lachlan. This is single POV, at least so far. I'm pretty sure it's going to be single POV all the way through, because if I remember right, it was single POV for Nightmare Before Christmas. I'm definitely enjoying this. I think I'm going to like where it goes from here, but I am here for a purpose. So today we did a lot of running of errands, and so we didn't get a lot of the actual project done, but that's okay, because that's kind of why I'm here for as long as I am, so we can get things done without being like in a pressure cooker kind of situation. And we are both part of the Spoonie community, so pushing ourselves is a bad idea. But yeah, I'm not sure how much reading is actually going to happen in this reading vlog, but so far I am enjoying this, and I'm not sure if or when I'm going to get around to Victorian Psycho, since that one is an audiobook, which is definitely much more of a like on your own time kind of reading activity, where like a physical book I can easily like read in bed or read in downtime moments while socializing. But yeah, we'll see how this goes. This will be just as chaotic as any other vlog with me, so I hope you enjoy. See you tomorrow. Hello, it is Friday. It's been a couple of days since I did my last check-in. I am still reading Go Luck Yourself. I am really close though. We have a really slow burn in this one. Like they definitely like sizzle at each other, but nothing really happens until we get well past the halfway mark. So I definitely would classify this as a slow burn, much slower than the one that we saw in the last book. Enemies to lovers, but like they were never really enemies. I don't know if I would call it even rivals to lovers, just like maybe frenemies to lovers. We could say frenemies to lovers. Whatever the vibe was for Red, White, and Royal Blue is the same vibe that you get in this book. So if you, like I said, probably in my last clip, I don't know. You know, I don't know. But if you like Red, White, and Royal Blue, then you're going to like this. This is definitely a lot faster paced than that was. And their rivalry is a little bit spicier than the other one was. But definitely having a good time with this. We are getting to where we are figuring out where everybody stands and who's doing what, who's done what, and now we're at the part where they're going to try to figure out how to fix whatever it is they're fixing. Sorry, trying not to spoil it. Anyway, we've got a lot accomplished in the last few days here at Tony's house, and done a lot of like errands and clearing out of boxes and things. Now we are at the part where it's time to organize the bookshelf, which obviously we need to record for posterity. So that's what we're going to be doing now. Saturday and I have finally finished reading Go Luck Yourself. I really loved how this ended up going. There were definitely some tropey moments that were turned on their head towards the end, and I very much appreciated that. We got some self-introspection that I think was desperately needed on the part of Chris. And we didn't necessarily end on a happily ever after. It definitely felt more like a happily for now that likely will end up being a happily ever after. And I appreciated that too. It felt very realistic in its expectation of where it ended. And I think this might be a duology. I don't think we're going to get a third book. I was kind of hoping to get a third book for Iris, but in the back of this, we get the next book that Sarah is dropping, and that is The Entanglement of Rival Wizards. I don't know if that's going to ever clear. Plus, there was a comment on Iris's part towards the end where she said that she would not be having one of these ridiculous moments that these brothers are having when they are in their crisis moment in their romances, because she's going to learn from them. So I'm guessing that was kind of the author's way of saying Iris isn't going to get a book. I'm a little bit sad about that because I was really excited that Iris would get a book and we would get a sapphic story. But who knows? Maybe she's just moving on from this series for now and will come back. I can hope. Anyhow, I moved on to I Think Our Son Is Gay, Volume 2. It is still just as cute as Volume 1. I'm just a few chapters in and I'm really enjoying it. And I will tell you more about this later.
Close your eyes for a minute, close your eyes for a second. I won't change my mind. What does getting deep now? What does getting deep now? Follow me around, yeah. Can you let me down? Please don't let me down. Yeah, 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 yeah. Baby, let me down. Can you let me down? Please don't let me down. Close your eyes for a minute, close your eyes for a second.
Hello, it is Wednesday again, and I have not updated you since Saturday. Sorry about that. I spent the rest of Saturday traveling, and then it was the weekend, and I was just spending time with my husband. I didn't really read much this weekend, so there wasn't anything to update about. And then I did finish reading both Victorian Psycho and I Think Our Son Is Gay over last night and this morning. So I'm going to start with I Think Our Son Is Gay, Volume 2. This was just as delightful as the first book, and it is just the best kind of slice of life to really cleanse your palate, I guess, especially after reading something like Victorian Psycho, which we'll get into in just a moment. I loved this just as much as the first volume, and I cannot wait to get my hands on the third and fourth volumes. I already have the fifth volume, which is the end of the series, but if you have any interest in this series, I say just pick it up and give it a go, especially if you are a fan of slice of life. and like I said, this is a wonderful little palette cleanser. I'm not sure when I'm going to be picking up volumes 3 and 4, but I think I will probably continue to read these in between heavier reads because it's such a nice, lovely relief to be back with this little family and their wonderful little dynamic. The son is still hysterically awkward, and the mother is still wonderfully supportive and loving. And you get a little bit more interaction with the little brother in this, and he's wonderful. I cannot wait to see more of this little family and all of their interactions with other family members and other friends and people around them and each other specifically. Anyway, loved it. 5 stars. Absolutely recommend. Now, for Victorian Psycho, approach this with caution. And like, I hesitate to say that I enjoyed this, but like, I did. I gave it 4 stars. But like, I feel like I need another word. I feel like enjoy is a lot more positive. I think the word enjoy might be a little misleading when discussing how I feel about this book. I don't think I will ever reread it. So that's part of why it's not a 5 star. But like, it's very well written. It's distinctly disturbing. If I would only read this if you can handle all of the content warnings. I'm not sure where you can find those because I don't recall seeing any. Although, having read the summary, I wasn't surprised by anything that happened. Okay, I was a little surprised. Okay, I was surprised by some of the things that happened. I wasn't like, yeah, she's definitely gonna do this thing. Didn't see a lot of this, but like, I wasn't shocked that it was something that would, how do you even talk about this book without like giving spoilers or going too far into the gory details? Okay, so here's the content warnings that I would give you. There is a lot of gore and blood and detailed descriptions of these things, and there is absolutely harm to children and animals and adults and everyone, really. So again, approach this read with caution. It's as if Jane Austen wrote a slasher horror book from the perspective of the murderer, of the slasher. You are in the head of a serial killer, mass murderer who just loves what she does. Like, she gets great enjoyment from murder and torture and pain and blood and gore. and she just really truly enjoys what she does. The pace of this book starts out fairly slow as she is easing into her role as governess for the Pounds family, and then we get to Christmas, and like, things start to ramp up a little bit right before Christmas, and then you hit Christmas and it is just balls to the walls, like murder spree. And I don't feel like that's really a spoiler because all of that is kind of implied in the summary as it's talking about her walking creepily across the moonlit lawn. She is absolutely a monster, and not in the fun monster fucker way. Like, this is truly like deep in the mind of an absolute psychopath. And so that's what you're signing up for when you pick up this book. It is intensely uncomfortable. It is morbidly funny, like morbidly funny. There are a few moments, especially during the climactic scenes, that are pretty hysterical in a twisted way. Specifically, I'm talking about an exchange between her and the wife, between her and the mother of the children she is the governess for. It made me laugh out loud, like in a shocked wow kind of way. Yeah, okay. I don't want to get into spoilers. So, suffice it to say, this is terribly gothic, except instead of being from the perspective of the woman running away from the house, the perspective is what the woman on the cover might be running from the house for, like the reason that someone might run away from this house, this ominous house. Yeah. So this is in first person's perspective, but it is first person omniscient, I think is what you would call it. Basically, the main character is narrating what occurred as she remembers it. So there's definitely like some unreliable narration, but none of it is sneaky. Like, it's very obvious that the narrator is positively unhinged. You're not being led astray about really anything, because she doesn't see anything wrong with what she does. She doesn't see anything wrong with, murder and harming people. So again, absolutely disturbing, morbidly funny, and approach with caution. I gave this 4 stars. I hesitate to say I enjoyed it, but because I don't really have a better word for it, I don't know. Let's see. Can we come up with a better word? I know. Just fascinating. Like, if you want to see what is potentially going on in the head of a literal psychotic killer, then I think this is probably a good depiction of it, or at least how I would imagine it works. Like, there is zero remorse in this person. There is some self-preservation, but it's almost secondary to her pursuing her goals, and just truly unhinged. I know I use that word a lot, and I have used it to excess in some cases. However, this woman is the absolute embodiment of unhinged. And if that is the kind of read that you are looking for, then go ahead and pick this up. I don't know that I recommend this. I don't know that I can recommend this because, again, intensely disturbing. But if that's what you're looking for, then I guess I can recommend that to you. Again, I don't think I will be rereading this, so there's that. But who knows, maybe I will. I know that a lot of people are reading it this month because it's one of the Lair reads for for Jan Agaton's Patreon. It's also a read for Jordan Lyne's book club, and I think maybe Books and Lala is reading it with Jordan Lyne. So I think I could be misremembering, but I know that a lot of the booktubers that I follow are reading this book this month. So it'll be really interesting to see what they have to say about it. Yeah, I don't know. It was a very, very interesting time. And I think I'll leave it at that. Anyway, that is it for this vlog. Thank you for watching. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to. And if you got this far, leave me a knife emoji. And if you are feeling chatty, let me know what sorts of books you've been reading lately, and if you have any recommendations or any books that you think it would be fun to watch me vlog, go ahead and put those recommendations in the comments as well. And I'll see you next video.
Stars shining bright above me. Breezes seem to whisper. Sycamore tree, dream a little dreamer.
So I've also started reading Virginia Fieto's I've also started reading the audiobook, and I don't know if that is the I wasn't even recording. Oh my god! That's so infuriating. Okay, let's start over, I guess. Hello. It is Saturday, and no, it is not. It is not Saturday. I have not filmed since Saturday. Let's try again.